What's up? What's up? Oh, Lordy, have mercy. Read that. Read that. Yeah, I just don't like this camera. I guess it's just me. Hold on, guys. I'll just give me a new camera. How you guys been? How you guys been? I hope you can hear me okay. If you can't, let me know. Um, got my mic all the way turned up. Got me plugged in. I think I got my other crap turned up. So, welcome to my new channel. Um, took me a few days to get this one all set up because you know, there's just been a lot going on, and I had to make myself a channel. Apparently, according to my Goodwill ambassadors, people, board, friends of mine, because I can't speak freely for my own branding and personal self of who I am as as myself and as my my writer, my pseudonym, and just being myself. Hence, or the Aurora Nyx, the Dynamic Shift Project, about how I feel about things going on in the world, or how you all feel about them, and me be able to speak freely about it underneath either one of the nonprofits, YouTube pages, or on the other one that we have for the books. So, we have a few things that we want to go through here. And I'm looking at my screen. Sorry, somebody jumped in. There's a few things that we do want to go through here. We want to give a moment of silence. I want to give a moment of silence. I keep saying we. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so used to me being a we entity that on this show, on this Dynamic Shift Project YouTube channel, this is my channel. So, you're never going to know what you're going to hear about, what topic I might pull out of my damn hat each night. And these shows are definitely, most of the time on this channel, not going to be made for children because they're going to be at night. They're going to be speaking about events, adult events of the day, politics, trying not to get into the politics of it, but trying to break politics down on a community scale of what a normal individual can understand it by. This channel will be talking about medical marijuana. Why do we use it? Why is it good? Why do people think it's bad? This is a big debate coming around this year. Well, here in Missouri about recreational coming about, the bill for recreational marijuana compared to medical marijuana. I have some huge thoughts on this issue. And so everybody that knows me and knows what I do and do not advocate for, there are huge implications when you look at it down the road. This channel will be a channel for us to speak about medical issues. There's a lot of stuff going on with COVID. Ooh-wee. Boy, we could get into some debates about that. Oh, if you don't know me, then you don't know that I'm an emergency manager on top of everything. You see all this crap in the background, man. Those degrees just keep going around the wall, guys. And then I've got a whole 3-ring binder of them too, of just eons of just more and more and more and more and more crap that I'm either certified or I'm able to do. And why? When I can't get paid for it? Because I can. because I care, because somebody has to do it, because somebody has to have the time to be able to sit here that has had and has have had the, I don't know how and brain capacity to sit back and put all these people together. um, this is not a channel for what I've been through. No, that's on my other channels. This this is about how do we get up and we recover from what we're going through in the world. We got so many different economic and socioeconomic and housing crisis. We got medical crisis. We got food shortages. Dude, we've got, you might call them government conspiracies if you've never heard of them. Okay. I'm just going to say we got things going on that y'all don't know about. And simply because you're not in that arena or you're not in the know-how to know about it, going on in our agricultural departments. We've got things going on in our space programs that the world don't know about. We've got things going. I mean, there's things going on in every sector. Every sector of our lives that everyday individuals that have to work 9-to-5 jobs and have 3 or 4 kids that have got school activities don't have the time or the energy to even have a clue that any of this is real or any of things are connected when you have an eastern and western hemisphere of the globe that are connected. You might hear a story here or there, and you'll go, yeah, whatever. But that, yeah, whatever, God help us. Right now, when the world has us looking one way with the media, we need to be looking every single other way. So I might wake up in the morning and I run through all of the headlines from the nightly news from the night before. And the reason why is because I work nights. I say work, but it doesn't mean that I'm collecting a paycheck. I don't. I am on disability. I'm service connected from the military, which, I don't know. I've heard some people say that they didn't think that I was in the military. And if that was the case, then y'all are some damn fools. Because I'm at 100% service connection. And I'm on Social Security disability. And I just went through my 10-year review. And I'm still on it. Yeah, you realize when you hit that 10-year review and you're 42 years old, God damn, you really were young when you got put on it, which means that your ass rode hard and you I got one of those phones that like blink at you because it's for deaf people. Because yeah, I'm deaf, but anyways, so we've got this weather crisis going on right after we had this political crisis. Well, actually, it was going on at the same time, but we really didn't start hearing about it until after the last days of us pulling out of Kabul. So if you're anybody like me, you have your international press desks that you're affiliated with now. And you also have your news stations you watch at night. You've got your emails that are blowing up at night, because I've got people in Africa and India and Europe now that I'm working with, and a bunch of people in Canada. So in the daytime, I sleep in nap rotations. So we are not only getting hit, right now is a really bad time. We've got the Sahara sands are coming over. If you don't understand what that means, every year, sand, literal sand from the desert gets picked up and blown all the way up on top of the ocean. That's how hurricanes are spinning, because you got the sand coming, and then you got sand coming this way as well from the islands. So those storms get caught in the middle, or it helps form where the hurricanes are going to go. The Sahara sands. That's why Larry's out there in the middle, but they're calling for 60-foot waves. Okay, guys, 60-foot waves going over the island of Bermuda. Now, if those Sahara sands if they stay back far enough, Larry will stay far enough away from the coast. And you know, I know everybody's worried about the coast because of what happened. And, you know, we've been hit. I have no words. I have no words for what has happened, except for condolences and empathy and shock. A little bit of shock that this one hit so hard and went through so many states and went as high up as it did. If you all do not believe in climate change, I'm not saying climate increasing, I'm saying climate change, period. If you all don't believe in that crap now, I mean, come on. You need to, because it's real. Our Earth's axis has shifted just a little bit on its degree, every year. And that little shift on top of the hydrocarbons are just, doing a lot of different things. I would be out there right now in one of these states along the border or along the coast or along the wherever, if my butt was not sitting here with 2 broken toes and 2 torn ACLs and a messed up back and a messed up shoulder and about 7 doctors yelling at me because of my Chiara malformation in my brain. This is my page where I can talk to you guys about these things, and you can come back, leave it in the comments. I've had a lot of people come up to me about the pool out in Kabul. I've had 2 individuals relapse. I want you guys to know that I do understand. We are here. I'm here if you need to talk. If I don't answer, that means I'm on the line with somebody else or on a video chat with somebody else. I ask that you please use those veteran crisis hotline numbers, those suicide hotline numbers. Right now, I just found out earlier about the shooting in Lakeland, Florida. This was a breaking story. A Marine called himself a survivalist and admitted to the police he was on meth. And his statement as to why he did this was, you know why. He was talking about what happened in Afghanistan, Kabul. More come out about the story. This was the preliminary of what the police said. He shot and killed 4 people. Including an infant, and then an 11-year-old survived and was taken in surgery at the time. And another 10 to 11-year-old was still missing, and they were looking for that child. And apparently there's still some Florida lawmakers out there that believe that the war on drugs, or that drugs is not apparently a big deal, or it's a low level offense, or it's not a it's just not a big deal. And I'm like, I'm sitting here listening to this, and I'm like, really? Because I'm going to tell you what, no. Meth is evil. It's like the devil. Okay. I'm getting ready to get my 8-year chip coming up here in a few months again, and that is, I mean, I never have to worry about going back or anything. That's not even an issue for me. But mine's deep. It's because I'm done. But I'm not like everybody. Every day is it. I'm not going to say I don't have triggers, because everybody does. But that decision I made, that finality. But until you get to that point in your sobriety that you're just done, then you're vulnerable. And I can personally speak that was my drug of choice, and it's evil. So don't turn to it, especially if you've been clean. If you're PTSD, your manic depression, your bipolarism, schizophrenia, dissociative personality disorder, associative personality disorder, mood disorder. I can keep naming them off, but I'm not going to. You get the point. Any of those start getting out of hand, or it's just plain old damn anxiety to a panic attack, call someone. Go to the hospital if you don't have no one. Tell them what you can walk into any VA and you can tell them what's going on in the emergency room, and they'll help you. Doesn't matter. I mean, that is the one thing about VAs with you being a veteran. It does not matter if you have VA privileges or not. When it comes to suicidal tendencies, you can walk into a VA hospital and you can let them know that you're wanting to kill yourself. It's totally different. It's a totally different atmosphere when you're a veteran and you go inpatient to the inpatient mental health at a VA hospital compared to inpatient mental health at a civilian hospital, and you're needing mental health as a veteran. That is one of the things that I work with a lot here at the Jefferson Barracks VA Mental Health Care Center, um, treatment center, but not as a staff personnel. Mine's more of a unique peer advocacy position for military sexual trauma. So I'm only called in if needed. And with COVID going on, was a huge time frame where they weren't even allowing us on the campus. And then they started letting one person back on, and then he advocated that he needed his female back because, just some things are female sensitive. We have a new thing going on over in Kabul where they were allowing flights out there for a minute after we were all gone. We left, our soldiers. I know most people aren't keeping up with it, but then we still had people over there. I'm trying to make this in as layman terms as possible. Then they took over the airport. They scrapped up all the parts, of the stuff that we left that was not usable, but then they fixed it. Some of the stuff, they sent some of the stuff off to different countries to be fixed. They stated that on their news stations, they were doing that. And next thing you know, they opened the airport back up for people to leave that were not on their lists. And next thing you know, they, as of what it would have been our tonight, which was today, so it was tonight for them, they had halted flights from leaving for us because their people was on the plane. So it's just a big old clusterfuck, and we knew that was going to happen. And then on top of it, there's been so many different shootings today. Oh my God, around the U.S. I woke up this morning to this person being shot here in this city. There's been a lot of shootings. I just mean you've had shootings at a lot of school shootings, a lot of campus shootings. You had a 14-year-old girl here in St. Louis that died on a watercraft in Table Rock Lake. I mean, there was just a lot of them. And it really got to me because I was like, how do we have all this? So you got the Taliban. Okay, so yeah, they're not letting the planes leave from multiple airports now. I'm sorry. Let's see. So we've got a few countries out there now. Even if you're vaccinated, as of August 30th, this was another thing I wanted to let you know. So if you're thinking about traveling and you want to go somewhere, you really better do it soon. Because on August 30th, the European Council of the European Union, one of the governing bodies of the 27-member European Union, dropped the United States from its safe list. So, the U.S. has been on the EU's safe list since June, but as our numbers began to rise and the spread of the Delta variant, and now that we have the new variant coming up, the EU recommended that they impose tighter entry restrictions to visitors and drop us. So, um, as of, yeah, so this was, where's it? They're asking to avoid the Bahamas and St. Martin. They're saying Haiti, Kosovo, Lebanon, and Morocco also have that same warning. Level 4 countries should be um, but so virus experts have stopped going to these 4 places as the Delta surge. So despite being vaccinated, they're taking new precautions amid the new variant. So COVID vaccinations allowed people across the U.S. to regain a sense of normalcy, but the Delta variant, yada yada yada. Um, so they want you to avoid going to indoor gyms. It's a hot spot, but they're also saying restaurants, malls, gyms, and schools with no mask requirements are less risky in your area. Um, you know, most indoor activities pose low risk to fully vaccinated people, especially in areas with low or moderate. This is from the CDC. Most indoor activities pose low risk to fully vaccinated people, especially in areas with low or moderate transmission. Infections happen in only a small proportion of people who are fully vaccinated, even with the Delta variant, said the CDC, or the CDC states. But the rapid spread of the virus throughout the country means that extra precautions might be necessary for at least the time being. So, I mean, as I see it, um, uh, let's see. When you look at the news stations nowadays, our news is even becoming one two minded nowadays. So we have, with the eviction moratorium ending, we have a lot of people becoming homeless. And now we have even more people becoming homeless because of what just happened. So they are saying I'm so sorry, this guy was a veteran of the of Afghanistan and Iraq wars that shot and killed those 4 people in Florida. Okay, so yeah, there's a huge thing in the press where if you watch Fox Fox news stations, you're going to see stuff different from like CNN. You know, when Trump was in office, it seemed like all of the news stations were pretty much on the same page. Let's burn Trump. Now you've got news stations, half of them are saying, no, Biden did the right thing. And then the other half of them are saying, no, the Biden administration needs to be held accountable. Okay. Wow, we have two news sources coming about and dividing our country into this political montage of what Biden should or shouldn't have done for the next 3 damn years. We have over half of our country now that has been devastated by wildfires, tornadoes, hurricanes, floods, drought, and nobody's talking about it. Not one person's talking about it. Okay. So, like 3 hours ago, the divers identified that it's a broken pipeline that's the source of the Gulf oil spill because of Hurricane Ida. Now, how many more, should I say, pipeline oil spills are we going to allow there to be down there in the Gulf of Mexico due to either earthquakes or hurricanes or whatever the hell the government wants to tell us it is, before we make someone accountable for all of this damn crude oil spilling into the ocean and us having to pay for it as taxpayers instead of the oil companies having to pay for it. Just curious. So the divers at the site of the ongoing oil spill that appeared in the Gulf of Mexico, of course, after Hurricane Ida, have identified it as a 1-foot diameter pipeline displaced from a trench on the ocean floor and broken open. So it's Talos Energy, a Houston-based company, is currently paying for the cleanup and said that the busted pipeline does not belong to them. The company said it's working with the U.S. Coast Guard and other state and federal agencies to coordinate the response and identify the owner of the ruptured pipeline. We don't even know who the pipeline belongs to. Okay, great. I'm looking at these pictures right here, and I can see the busted pipeline, and I can see the oil spill. And we don't, how can you have a freaking pipeline under the ocean going into Houston, Texas, on the ocean's floor, but yet you don't know who the damn pipeline belongs to? 2 additional 4-inch pipelines were also identified in the area that are open and apparently abandoned. The company's statement did not make clear if oil was leaking from the 2 smaller pipelines. The Associated Press was first reported Wednesday that aerial photos showed a miles-long brown and black oil slick spreading about 2 miles south of Port Fourchon, Louisiana. And this, it's a Houston base. Okay, got it. Broken pipe is in relatively shallow water at about 34 feet of depth. Oh, that's a great picture. Talos said the rate of oil appearing on the surface had slowed dramatically in the last 48 hours, and no new heavy crude have been seen in the last day. So far, the spill appears to have remained out to the sea and has not impacted the Louisiana shoreline. There's no estimate for how much oil was in the water, but the images that were appeared to show the slick drifting more than a dozen miles eastward along the Gulf Coast. Wow. So they previously leased it to Bay Marchand, Block 5, but ceased production in 2017, plugged its wells, and moved all pipeline infrastructure by 2019, according to the company. So basically, they said they moved there. This is just another corporate crap shit. The Bay Marchand spill is one of dozens of reported environmental hazards state and federal regulators are tracking in Louisiana and the Gulf following the Category 4 hurricane. Wow. So basically, that is a nasty spill. And you know what? This is really sad. So when that water went back up into the Mississippi River, guys, guess what? It's saying that the oil was sprawling. Phillips 66 Alliance Refinery, located along the Mississippi River south of New Orleans. And we all know that water went back up north into the Mississippi River. So, you know, that's really awesome that we had that happen. And I am being sarcastic, by the way, because, all right, I'm going to take my screen off and I'm going to come back to you guys because this is just crazy. I am absolutely, this is what I'm talking about. This is one of the reasons why we started this page, because we wanted to be able to let you guys know that the world's a lot bigger out there. We've got a lot of things that we're going to be doing here with our two companies. You know, my book's going to be, my first book will be coming out next year. The reason we've taken so long to finish it is for a few reasons. One, me. I had a heart attack 2 months ago. I wanted to make this channel because I'm constantly getting asked, what's your story? How'd you get to where you are? Who are you? Well, I'm writing some books, so I can't tell everything. But what I can tell you is medically, my medical marvels. You know, I mean, I've had 52 surgeries and procedures. And I've literally, like, almost died 8 times and came back. Or, like, should have been dead. You know what I mean? Like, they doomed, or had a stroke, or, like, was in a car accident, flew out the car, or, you know, like, was hit by a car, or riding a horse and did somersaults off the horse. And, you know, it just weird things of why I'm not dead, you know. And those are just like the explainable ones. So I'm very spiritual. I do believe there is one God. God can be called God, Buddha, Allah, Odin, whatever religion you believe in, whatever religion that is, whatever that religion calls God, that is God. God is God. Whatever. God can be a female. God is omniscient. God is God. There's one. The Indians, you had grandfather God, Tumsha, and then you had Mother Earth. So you know, God made Mother Earth. You know, so you really have to understand where all this comes from. Um, we are all stardust, is what I say. Uh, I found out 11 years ago I had a terminal brain disease, and I flipped out. I did not believe I'd still be here. Or no, not 11. 2011, 2013, I found out. But sorry, that's my brain. So 2013, I found out. I didn't tell nobody. And that was very hard for me to do, to live with. I didn't want to tell anybody because I did not want anyone to look at me differently. I knew it was something that would affect my life, but we didn't know how. We still don't know how. We know it has 3 stages. We know what it's called. You know, medical advances, you know, they make names for things eventually, you know, because they can do scans, and, you know, this shit started a long time ago, but we didn't know what I had, and they give you medicine and try to, you know, I had major headaches and lots of other things, but now we have treatments for it, and I'm much better because of that, because of medical advances, so in science. So the more they learn, the more I learn, the more I want to learn, the more I go back to school, the more I push myself. You wouldn't believe it, but in 2009, I woke up and I was a quadriplegic. All I could do was pretty much move my eyes. No, Tiffy was not staying like that. No. We need to believe in the power of the mind, the body, the spirit, the soul, everything. Because when they tell you that it cannot be done, yes, it can. But there will be pain. There will be mental pain and there will be physical pain throughout the recovery process and for the rest of your life. Do not let anybody tell you a lie that there won't be pain, because there will. You will always have triggers, and you will always, for your mental pain, and you will always have ouchies that come along to give you physical pain. And that's the Musimu that we have the fundraiser up for, because Musimu's got pain now because he's old. My poor service dog's getting old. That's how I really know I'm getting old. Oh, but so anyways, so there will, so remember this saying: if you can still feel pain, then you do know that you are alive. Or just, if you can still feel the pain, you know you're alive. That was something passed down to me as a 5th generation military veteran from my father, from his father, from his father, from his father. But I was the female, the first female, 5th generation, so they were all men. And it was passed down to them that if you can still feel the pain, you know you're still alive. So when I think about that saying, I think about Persian Gulf, Vietnam, Korea, well, Honduras, then, you know, Vietnam, Korea, World War I, World War II, World War II, World War I. And then you start going back and back and back and back, all the way to the founding of this country. And then go back even further, and we start getting into Scotland and Ireland. But for those fifth generation for with the founding of this country. I unfortunately that will end with me because I have one son. But that's okay because he's part owner and part incorporator of a foundation that is strictly made up to help veterans heal from what 5 generations of his family has been through. And that's how he is going to continue that legacy after even I'm gone. And then his children will. And then there's eventually others in our family. And then familia that want to continue with with the Aurora Hope Foundation as well. And we named it the Aurora Hope Foundation for the 2 sisters that he lost, my 2 babies that I miscarried. So it would have been his twin sister. And then I had an ectopic pregnancy rupture when he was 6 months old. And they took, so the fetus they were able to determine that the fetus did not have a stubby stub on it, that it was a female fetus. So, I don't feel emotions too much anymore. It's not that I don't have them. I have like a facial paralysis thing on this side, and I don't cry out of this eye anymore. That's why in like pictures you'll see big white stuff flash. This is where they do the surgery on this side. So this side had the stroke. This is where you see the lazy eye and everything. So I've got facial paralysis on this side where I don't feel from the surgery, from all of this being cut open. And then on this side is where I had the stroke. 2 strokes, actually, now. So I've got the little bit of the paralysis. I don't care. Sorry. See, this is why I aim for the kids. But, so, like, imagine that release when you're crying, like really, really hard at a funeral. And you got that big knot right here, and you just burst open. You'll see like a tear come out of my eye. So it's really hard to release those emotions, and to learn how to have to use that energy on other things. But I do. I want to let everyone know that we are collecting donations for No More Tears. We have a Christmas wish list. I want to thank Sharon Jackson for. Oh, yeah, I had to do this before I forgot. I waited. It came in. So I know these came from Sharon Jackson because she went ahead and she actually put her name on them. Not on the package, but on the thing, So she got us a 5-pack of the medium bristle toothbrushes. So that'll be 5 toothbrushes and a Christmas card to give to one of the kiddos. So that'll work. And then, so the 5-pack of the toothbrushes, what they are is they're really cool. They're bamboo toothbrushes, all right? So they're biodegradable. They're not plastic. They don't go, they'll degrade in the landfills. And the 5-packs are for the teenagers. Okay, so they're individually wrapped in 5 little different boxes. And the 6-packs are the children's toothbrushes on the wish list. So that's really cool. So if you go on our Facebook site or on Twitter or on LinkedIn, you'll see that things. So we also have 3 packs of kids toothpaste on there. Thank you so much. And then we got, yes, okay, so see, these look different. Here's the 6-pack of the kids' bamboo toothbrushes, and we're not going to open them because we're going to leave all these sealed because it comes with the receipts. And that way we can scan the receipts and we can keep our inventory correct for before the events. So when we're making out our gift bags, not baskets, it's not Easter, we're making out our gift bags for this Christmas. We'll have everything in our envelopes we'll have them locked up in our locked closet of goodie donations. We also have a bunch of shirts made now. We can make them in any color that you want, to be honest. We have our Cash App that we're doing right now until we have our community block grant done and everything totally set up with Apple and Microsoft. So we are doing it through our Cash App. It's very simple. There's a little money sign, and it's capital NMT. Why am I doing this when I can type it? Capital NMT. 214. I mean, so right. So the shirts for either foundation, we've got them for both foundations. Oh, wait, not that. We're just doing an even price for them. And then we'll mail them to you. What you would do in the Cash App is you would tell us your size. And right now we have white, black, because we have youth too. We've made them in youths everywhere from small, medium, large, extra large in the youth. And then in adults, we have small, medium, large, extra large, and some 2X. The whites are what we have all those sizes in. In the black colors and in the gray and a few brown in the youth sizes are what we also have in those sizes. Now, in adults, we can make the adults in any color that you want, but you do have to prepay for them because we have somebody that makes the shirts for us to make for you. We actually are partnered with, it's not CBD, it's CDB. Okay, so it's CDB clothing design and fashions. So they're straight out of here, out of St. Louis. We only like to promote as far as this, we only like to promote St. Louis small business owners. When we partner with our people that actually make our things. And the reason why is because we do work in different states. So if we find a small business in that city or state that we are located in as well, then we will promote them as well. So like we have a doctor in Houston. We have a board member up in Michigan. We have a board member over there on the East Coast, and I can't be any more specific than that. I'm sorry. Not on here. We have, so and then we have one on the West Coast. So I mean, if we find small businesses in those areas, we have one down in Texas. We have a business in Texas that at any of our functions with the Unique Foundation that we're setting up a thing where they will allow us to put one of their bags on display, and if somebody buys the bag, then we get a certain percentage of proceeds from their sales. These are just neat little dealio partnerships or little dealio EOB things that we really like. We really like to hear that people want to support our things, but they're in Texas. So, it's not anything that I'm against, but it's always a board decision. It's not a mutual decision anymore. But she was one that I had met while we were still under a sole proprietorship. So it kind of felt it over, and I was able to convince everyone. So I was really happy for that. Anyways, I'm sorry, that's work talk. But yes, we will be doing, I'm really happy we'll be doing the wreaths across America. I got my medical marijuana card renewed here in the state of Missouri. So that has been done. Thank you very, very much to Taste Buds down in St. Clair. They held an event that they partnered with a nonprofit this past week where the nonprofit actually paid for veterans. They're going to hold another one. They hold them all across Missouri, guys. You got to look them up. It's Taste Buds. I don't know if it's tastebuds.com, but it's Taste Buds, and that's their company. And they've been able to partner with me and provide my stuff that I need for. Just to be honest, because I got about 3 minutes left. I don't want to go over an hour. I've been considered once again, a terminal patient. So, because some new things have popped up on my scans, so I have to inhibit the growth of this thing in the back of my head that I've got. So they've got some new dropperlet stuff they give to cancer patients to stop tumors from growing. And they're going to be able to give it to me at a pretty good price due to my status, which is a good thing. Thank God for good health care, and thank God for medical marijuana if you actually really need it to stay alive. I don't know how I feel. I really don't know how I feel about recreational because of kids. I just don't. I can't support that as an individual, but that's me. And my kid doesn't do it, so I couldn't. No, I couldn't support it. But I truly believe that if we have enough rules and regulations around it, and it's not overruled or overtaxed or overregulated, but I do believe that there are people still sitting in jail that don't need to be sitting in jail for it, and that's a huge problem. And I do believe that we're fighting over things that we should not be fighting over. But with just about 45 to 30 seconds left, I'm going to say I hope you all meet me for the next one, because I'm going to have a nice detailed outline of what we are going to talk about. We're going to be speaking about some legislative issues next time around the country, about what we need to be doing on both sides of the aisle. So I really hope that you come back and see me. And I hope you enjoyed this just really calm and really casual talk tonight. See you on the flip side.